Hey gang, Kevin here, Life22, and it is a beautiful Sunday morning. And so as most of you know, if you follow the channel, our channel has always kind of been about like life being a catch-22. And if you don't know what a catch-22 is, a catch-22 is a vicious cycle, right? Like it's a I can't go to work because I don't have a degree. You don't have a degree because you can't go to school. I can't go to school because I don't have money. I can't get money because I don't have a job. Can't get a job because I didn't go to school. And then it's just a vicious cycle that you can't break, or at least it gives the appearance that you can't break it. And then a lot of times life seems that way, right? And so that's kind of how the channel started, and we're always being dumped on, and you know, it is what it is, right? Like, but we survive, we persevere, and so this channel started as like my journey, my life, my journey through life, right? And as part of that, you get a lot of the introspection, right? You get Kevin's take on local politics, you get Kevin's take on this book, you get Kevin's Kevin's interviews one-on-one with somebody in this journey and this pursuit for knowledge. Why are we here? What are we doing? And then all the other things that happen in life, right? Like there's birthdays and there's events with the kids and there's jujitsu matches and there's just all these different things. There's so much broadness to the channel. And then there's also somewhat of a linear timeline, right? So, and that linear timeline is reflected here. There we go, up right there. If you're watching on the video podcast, I'm pointing to our moniker, our little identifier that shows what episode this is. And our episodes are based on the days. And if you don't know, the days are based on how many days since I was born. So just kind of a cool little insight if you've been watching the channel for years and always wondered, or maybe you already knew. Maybe I spoke about it, I don't remember. But those are the different things that go on with our channel. And so in addition to everything else, from the upgrades to the studios over the years, to the format of just doing it on my phone, to getting off doing it on my phone, to going back doing it on my phone, to live, to live on the phone, to live in studio, to just not doing live, to uploading just straight up videos, to being on TikTok, to being in video podcasts versus just audio, and now just back to audio, which we never really were audio. We kind of always did a video podcast and we ripped it down into audio. This morning I just kind of wanted to just kind of brain dump on where the channel was, where it is. I do this every so often. I'll just do a brain dump about the channel. And the channel, somebody mentioned to me the other day that my newfound Christianity. And if you watch the channel, you're like, no, Kevin said he was reading the Bible. He didn't say that he was Christian. It's like if he was reading the Torah, or if he was reading the Quran, that you would say, oh, it was Kevin's newfound, Jewish or Muslim beliefs, right, respectively. And that's not the case. I'm trying to find out meaning in life. I'm trying to take a deeper delve to things that, never were as firmly instilled in me as a child, living in a Judeo-Christian society. I mean, as much as people from my generation and the newest generation, and maybe a little bit of the previous generation, like to attest to, this is a Judeo-Christian nation, and this is how it was founded. So to say that, like there are freedoms of religion, and there are freedoms of this, and freedoms of speech, and all these other things, but they are all founded on a framework, and that framework is kind of just like, as people like to say, systemically built into our system. And I feel like as people try to uproot some of this, these system processes that we have in place, this framework for a good moral way of living life, even if you don't, subscribe to one religion or another, I think that framework is very important. I think that framework makes you a moral individual, because we can all come together and say that murder is immoral. We can all come together and say that, that theft or lying are immoral things, and we can come together and then we create laws based on that. If we're just undermining all of it and saying that we have no basis on any of it and nothing at all, and then it's like, well, then how can we come together and have common ground to make laws that we all have to agree to follow, and then agree to follow these rules, and then we turn them into law, and then we force people that don't agree, the outliers, right? Like, I don't care, murder can be legal. Like, well, the problem is that the rest of us have come together and said that's not okay, and we're going to punish you for that, and we're going to incentivize people for other things, like procreation, 2-parent households, good family structure, raising kids right. Like, if we didn't have morals, like, it would be perfectly okay to diddle kids, and that is not okay. And we've all come together and say it is not okay to do that. And that's why it's one of the harshest punishments, not in recent years, but it's supposed to be one of the harshest punishments. If you're caught killing or raping or anything like that, and then all of a sudden you compound on the fact that you were not just doing this to some Joe on the street or some, somebody that whatever, as an adult, and they were a child, like, okay, boom, you see, like, there's ways that we all come together, and I'm sure most of you watching are like, yeah, duh, this is like a no-brainer information that you're conveying to us, Kevin. But there's a lot of people out there that don't seem to understand this, and so when they get duped into just like undermining our society and undermining different things and saying, well, we don't have that framework, and we need to throw every bit of it out, right? Like, if it's and the common notion today is like, oh, we don't like this guy, he's bad, he's Hitler, right? And then anything related to Hitler is automatically, you're Hitler, you're the worst, right? Well, Hitler wore clothes, so anybody who wears clothes is Hitler. And you're saying, well, wait a minute, no. Yes, I mean, if that's the way that you're going to approach it, and then you follow that to its inevitable conclusion, this disintegrationism, everything can be disintegrated down to nothing, and then all of a sudden, where do you stand? If you disintegrate the foundation of your house is not standing, it collapses, right? And I feel like there are ill actors in our society that are doing that. And I went on, it's another Kevin rant, right? So, but I want to start pumping out more content, more little things. I'm always like, man, I can't put this out because it's just a small tidbit, or it's just a clip, it's just this, it's just that. And as you're seeing right now, like, none of this is really scripted. This is just kind of like Kevin's thoughts. This is a brain dump. This is Kevin's thoughts coming out, and you're gonna I like to just formulate it all right here, because you're here for the journey. You could start back at the beginning of when we started doing the podcasts. You could interview people that were, around during my childhood. You could do this, you could do that, and I think you'd find the entire course. And I'm not trying to say that my life is the life that everyone should be living, but at the same time, I like to at least leave breadcrumbs and a paper trail on where Kevin was and how he got to where he is. And that's kind of what this is. This is journaling. This is my journal. And I appreciate each and every one of you who are coming along for the ride, because this isn't just like my private journal under my bed. This is my out in the open journal. This is I'm writing it down right in front of you right this very second. Even that right there. Yep. That pause. Yet you caught it. Great. That was part of it. Every bit. I remember when we started this, if camera quality wasn't the greatest, it was better than when I was a kid, but it's the data that it would take to record my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is what I would initially, it brought it up to my wife, who wasn't my wife at the time. I said, hey, I wish I could do this. I'd just walk around all day with a GoPro. The problem is that was 1080p, and that was a lot. Now all of a sudden cameras are 4K, they're 5K, 5.3K or some nonsense. Like, you know how much data you'd have to store if you were EdTVing your life? If I was walking around like a slightly more attractive Matthew McConaughey, and trying to film my life every day, or the Truman Show, right? It would be a lot. And with that, we're going to. So I just wanted to reach out. So I'm in the middle of. I've started reading the Bible, and it's been a slow process. It's just been a lot going on. We just closed on a local business. we've acquired some more properties. It's the other business is ramping up. It's it's all these other things, and then there's a lot of political stuff. And I know I've been behind on a lot of that, and I still want to give you my political take from January 1st, State of the City, the annual reorganizational meeting of our local city, to all the council meetings. And I've watched that meeting, but I have not watched any council meetings since then. I've been paying attention to the local news articles. I know there's an Allegheny race. We're hoping to get some of the candidates that are going up for the Allegheny, the town of Allegheny, village of Allegheny's mayoral election since the death of the late Mayor Greg Pearl. It's one of those, like, I just, we've got a lot of these different things going on the channel. It's almost the end of February. We want to get the lovely Miss Della Moore on the show. I know a lot of you, she's a fan favorite. She's a wonderful human being. I want to get her on the show. Maybe we'll take the show, like, to her location. We are able to go mobile now. There's just so much. This is a good Sunday morning, 10-minute brain dump. And with all of that, we've got a lot going on. I've got to catch up on doing the journal, right, and doing this right here. And what seems to get a lot of traction are short clips and tidbits, right? So I think just because you're not going to watch all 11 minutes of this, right? Most people don't. Some people do, and I do applaud the people that sit through Kevin's brain dumps and his rants of 11, 30 minutes, because usually it's a topic that you're interested in, and sometimes you get here for the interesting topic, and then it delves into a rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland, and you're like, what kind of, like, where is his brain going, guys? And then you're like, I'm out once he changed topics the 7th time. And that's fine. And so we're going to do a couple long forms a week. And then the long forms, I would also assume, are going to be things like the council meeting reviews and interviews and things like that. So you're going to have your brain dumps. You're going to have your long form interviews. You're going to have your council meeting reviews, your school board. Those are being filmed now. We're going to start reviewing those. In addition to book reviews, things like that, But as I'm reading, especially as I'm reading, I want to kind of start, like, just throwing things out there from the books that I'm currently reading and putting them into shorts. Every so often I see a TikTok video that I just think is, like, stupid. And I'm sure you've seen some of those. And so in our Grubs of TikTok series, I jump in and I just kind of give you quick YouTube shorts, TikTok shorts, just whoosh, 3 minutes or less. Kevin just, here's the video I saw. Boom, here's Kevin's response. So you're going to get a lot. I'm hoping to get more of those out to you. You're going to get, hey, what is a journal, right? Like just little. Like an idea pops in my head. I'm going to try to film it. I'm going to try to get it out to you as soon as possible, because I know each and every one of you is at the edge of your seat right now going, man, what is Kevin thinking right now? You just got in an argument with your wife and you're trying to, like, take your mind off of things. You're like, what is Kevin Doherty thinking right now? I'm trying to think. You just got in a serious car accident. You're sitting in a hospital bed, and you're like, man, I got to take my mind off of this. Or maybe you don't have to take your mind off of it. Maybe you're just, the overarching thought is what's in Kevin Doherty's head right now, right? That's why we're here. We're here because we've answered the call. The call is what is in Kevin Doherty's head right now, and you've got it. So with that said, guys, I appreciate all of you out there watching, listening, and we haven't got any hate mail in a while. My favorite hate mail is the ones that come in bricks through my windows. Also, you know what? I did forget about this. We're also calling out local drug dealers. So my wife always hates when I point this out. But so that's the other thing, too. When we have, like, drug dealers in our neighborhood, Kevin has the audacity to kind of be like, nope, screw you. We're calling you out. And so we have a lot of stuff coming up on that topic as well. We've got interviews. We've got dossiers. We're trying to get some people in that are in the know, a lot more in the know, maybe people that I wouldn't agree with their life choices, but are in the know. So, but, it is what it is. And we'll see you guys next time on Life22. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and continue to send your love and hate mail.